sunny day. I'm picking up a light. I'm picking up a light. Oh, we want it is coming on a sunny day. I'm picking up a light. I'm picking up a light. Oh, we want it is coming. Outside, we don't go when it's cold. Tonight, the frost is gone. We wait inside the pouring rain.
Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Thank you so very much for joining me for the Mad Church Disease podcast. Would you do me the awesome favor of please hitting the like button and please ensuring the fact that if you are not yet subscribed to the channel that you do so. I did put it on subscriber only mode for the chat on tonight. So just make sure that you subscribe to the channel. And so that way we can have you guys in the chat, etc. And we can see your comments, etc. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Mad Church Disease podcast. I am your humble host and servant, Marcellus, and I thank you so very much for joining me on tonight. I apologize, you guys. I'm a little on the tired side. So if I don't seem to be as animated as I normally am, if you guys can forgive me, I would really appreciate it. I'm just sort of relaxed, and after I get done with this live, I'm probably going to go somewhere and have a late dinner because I have had to eat today. I've had sun chips, a frozen burrito. I'm trying to think, what else did I have? I had sun chips, a frozen burrito, and I think that's it. I'm hungry. Can I just tell y'all that I'm hungry? So I'm gonna go have me something to eat, and so yeah, that's the end of that. But I plan on having a wonderful conversation with you all tonight. This is a conversation that is long overdue. I'm gonna get straight to the point tonight. Y'all know I try not to belabor the issues and keep you guys here all late at night. We just get to the point over here. So that's where I'm at with it, and that's where we're going to be at with it. If you're new to my channel and you want to keep up with all things Mad Church Disease, you can subscribe to the Mad Church Disease newsletter. The moderators will put a link in the description for you down below, and you can of course do that. And so I appreciate all of you guys subscribing to the newsletter, and I promise you I'm going to do a whole lot better with that. I'm going to be sending out some links to some shows that I think that is well worth a listen to tomorrow morning. So I need for you guys, if you want to subscribe to the newsletter, I'm going to be sending other people's videos in tomorrow's email that I just think you should be paying attention to those videos, because I think those videos were really, really good. And so I'm going to recommend that you guys do that as well. Also, if you guys are supporters of the Mad Church Disease channel, would you do me the awesome favor tonight of supporting the live? You know, we always ask that 10 people give at least $10 or 2 people give at least $50 to support our podcast on tonight. Please do so, and I would be so happy about that. We are actually in the process of purchasing one piece of equipment, and then we're going to go into upgrading our camera equipment. So we've got one more piece of equipment to purchase before we purchase our new DLSR cameras. Our cameras and lenses are about $2,000 a piece. So we are actively saving up and working to go towards our DLSR cameras. If you are supporting the Mad Church Disease, please make sure that you do so tonight so that I can rattle off those names before we get off of here. We have about a $300 purchase that we need to purchase right away. And so for those of you that can support the platform, please do so. Now, let me go ahead and tell you what the $300 purchase is. I got something that I need to purchase so that when I look into the camera here, I can keep my focus here and not really put my focus down here on these screens. So it's going to put it up higher so that when I look at you in the face and in the eye, I'll be able to concentrate on you instead of concentrating on these screens. So that's what we're doing there. So I would appreciate it if you guys would support the platform. All right. So tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we have a myriad of topics that I want to talk about and I want to get into on tonight. And I'm not going, this is just a general talk, just so you guys understand. I am going to be playing a clip for you when we get to our main story tonight, which is Pastor, I believe his name is Pastor James Stockton, has been exposed and he is facing felony charges here in California, in Southern California. And I'm going to be talking to you and telling you how Pastor Stockton is actually sort of connected here to the Mad Church Disease channel. And I'm going to tell you what happened in the past, because history does matter. And I'm going to tell you what happened and how all of that stuff transpired. So y'all get ready for that. And that should be pretty funny for you guys to hear and to know about that stuff. All right. So shout out to all of you that are in the chat. Shout out to all of you that are hitting the button. Also, I woke up this morning. I rolled over this morning and I turned on my television, and I'm normally watching YouTube, because YouTube has far surpassed Netflix as far as views are concerned and people watching Netflix. So I roll over this morning. I always go to YouTube because normally in the morning I'm watching Don Lemon news stuff and some other channels in the morning. So I roll over this morning and Tarsha Global actually happened to be live this morning. I said, oh, Lord. I was like, okay, let me go on. Because, you know, Tasha lives on the East Coast. So normally when she goes on, she's always early for me. So I said, okay, well, let me get over there and see what she said. My God from Zion. If it ain't always something over here, it's always something over here. From what I'm understanding, and you all don't quote me because I don't listen to the people, so I don't know the totality of the story. So don't be like, well, you don't know. Listen, I done told you I don't know, so calm down. Apparently, there was a content creator that I don't talk about or mention the name over here on this platform, who has done a lot of bidding for another content creator that I don't even really mention on this platform anymore. And, you know, we refer to him typically as the agent of chaos. And y'all listen to me very, very carefully. Vloggers, don't get yourself into any trouble reporting on stuff that you know you have absolutely no proof of, because you're going to mess around and get yourself in a lot of legal hot water. And I think some people may be trying to get certain people to file a lawsuit, or getting people trying to draw people out, or whatever they're doing. Just don't put yourself in any situations that are going to harm you and harm your platform and harm your ability to pay your bills and to do the things that you do. Now, everybody can play the tough guy. Everybody around here can act like they don't need a Google check and they don't need a YouTube check. Don't put yourself in any position that's going to cause you to mess up your platform and mess up your life. Okay. And some of y'all should have been thinking about that a long time ago, years ago. If I want to be frank, because some of you were just doing way too much. And so it is what it is when it comes to that. This other content creator is claiming that they have audio tape of Bishop Bernard Jordan and all of this kind of stuff. Y'all listen to me very carefully. And this message, first of all, goes out to Bernard Jordan. I want you to listen to me very, very carefully. Bernard Jordan. Larry Reid is not your friend. I don't care if he was your former mentor, or mentee. I don't care if you have love in your heart towards Larry. Well, I done said his name now. Shoot, I was trying not to do that. I done messed up. Did I break my rule already? I told y'all, but he's not on the thumbnail. Because that's the key. He's not on the thumbnail. So let me say this. I done said the name now. Okay. Bernard. Larry is not your friend. At the same time that Larry was running around here on the internet telling everybody he loved you. I know, right, Mary? I'm so mad at myself. Lord, I'm so mad at myself, but he's not on the thumbnail. He's not on the thumbnail, which is the key. Bernard, he not your friend. Ain't no start no another 30 days. That's for the thumbnail. That's for the thumbnail. He is not on no thumbnail. The key was the thumbnail, y'all. That's the key. But let me say this. Bernard, he's not your friend. You need to go your way and just don't have any business dealings with him anymore. Shout out to Jesus. Thank you so much for your $10 super chat and putting the color on it. Shout out to you. Yeah, because I'm trying. I know I am hungry. Look, somebody say they're going to give me some grace. Thank you. Because nobody else wants to give me any grace. Because I am hungry. I really am hungry. So let me say this. Let me get to the point. Bernard Jordan, Larry Reid is not your friend. You need to walk away from him with as much love, respect, and admiration that you might have had for him and held for him in your heart. You need to walk away, sir. At the same time that this man is saying that he loves you, he is sending out emails. And I personally believe, now this is my opinion, that I think he's after you. I believe that he is scorned. He is mad. He can say he's not mad, but if he wasn't mad, he wouldn't be sending out these emails. That's just my opinion. So let's start there. Bernard Jordan, run for your life. Insulate yourself with your family and the people that you have as closest to you. Stop looking out and deal with the inward side of the situation. You understand what I'm saying? Stay away from this man. And to be honest with you, Larry, just go somewhere and sit down. Now, I know you're trying to make yourself relevant, but you had no business sending that other content creator that mess. Now, here's what I know. Here's what I know to be true. It was sent to content creators, I believe, who you thought were just going to run out there and tell that information. I don't know why you thought that was the kind of personality that I had. But then you turned around and you gave that stuff to William. William interviewed Bishop Bernard Jordan. He interviewed Bernard Jordan. And he asked him the question, and Bernard Jordan and him had their exchange. So, shout out. And I listened to William as I was falling off to sleep. And so I understood that whole dynamic and why William sort of interviewed him, etc. That should have been the end of it, as far as I'm concerned. But I want you all to understand and see the motive here with how things are being done. That should have been over with once William interviewed him. Bernard said what he said. William asked the questions that he needed to answer. And I think William did a great job getting to the point and asking him the questions that he needed to ask, right? I get all of that. And then to me, that should have been the end of it. Why am I waking up on a whole nother week and now y'all telling me, oh, another content creator has the email and he's claiming he's got the audio too? I said, what? Why? Like, what's the point of this? I know Larry feels like he knows my history as far as, advocating for victims. And he feels like it's some level of hypocrisy that, and this is according to the email that he sent me, that Bernard Jordan is out here saying that he's not same-sex attracted when, according to Larry in the email, Larry is saying he is. I'm simply telling you, I don't care. I don't care. I don't know how else to say that. That's none of my business. It's none of my business. I don't care. Bernard is a married man. He's been married, I don't know, 40, 50 years, however him and Deborah's been married. I don't care. I don't think most people on the internet and most people in the world care about that. You all understand where I'm coming from? So I don't get it. I just personally don't get it. But I wanted to personally say today on my platform, Bernard Jordan, if you don't hear nothing else I say, stay away from that man. He does not mean you any good. He doesn't mean you any good, sir. Stay away from that man. Stay away from that man. I don't care how much love you claim that you have for this dude. Stay away from him. He is trying, in my opinion, he is actively trying to harm you and your wife and your family. You need to stay away from him. And I don't know how else to say it. You would be a crazy man to keep trusting that dude. Okay. And I need for you to understand something, Bernard. It's not that I dislike you. And I think your son Manasseh had once said on one of these people's platform, well, Dad, he didn't like us. Because I remember you said that, Manasseh. No, first of all, let me be very clear. I may not like some of your doctrinal teachings. I may not like some of the things that I feel have been done to the Black community. Those are my issues. It is nothing personal with you all. And y'all need to stop that, and understand that it is a difference. You know, I can dislike something that a person does without actually disliking the person. You understand? So I'm just a little bit more mature in my thought life and in my processes like that. So I don't understand where you guys are getting that. And we laughed about some of the stuff that had went on over there, but it is what it is. But that's my personal message to Bernard Jordan, and that's what I wanted to say. As far as that's concerned, what happened? Was somebody said something? I don't know what happened. I don't even know, because y'all know I don't be looking in this chat. Please don't make me have to sit here for 5 minutes and scroll up and down, because y'all know I don't even be looking over here. Okay, so that's Bernard Jordan. We box checked. Let's move on. Bernard Jordan box check. Now let's talk about J. Drew Sheard for a minute. Let me talk about J. Drew Sheard. Let's talk about J. Drew Sheard for a second. I grew up in the Holiness Church. You guys. When I grew up in church, the only people that my organization or my denomination would let us fellowship with was C.O.G.I.C people. I have been around the C.O.G.I.C church my entire life, although I am not a C.O.G.I.C child. No, I was not born in the C.O.G.I.C, but them was all the people that we could hang around. I grew up in strict holiness. We did not wear makeup. The women didn't wear makeup. You couldn't go to the movies. You wasn't supposed to have no TV. I mean, when I tell y'all I grew up in holiness, I grew up in holiness. You couldn't play cards. You couldn't do none of those types of things. And they barely even want you to play no sports. You wasn't even supposed to play sports. Most of the stuff that I did, I snuck and did it. I'm going to be real honest. I snuck and did a lot of stuff. I remember when I got a television in my bedroom, I was in the 5th grade when I got my own TV. And I remember I was like, I am not telling these people at the church that I got this here TV. I was like, I am not telling these people I got this TV, because I'm going to be in trouble if I tell these people I got this TV. I remember when I first found out about Anita Baker, and I loved Anita Baker's singing, and the church got on me so bad, they made me throw away all of my Anita Baker cassettes because they found out that I was listening to Anita Baker. So, I mean, but C.O.G.I.C was all, it was the point I'm trying to make here is C.O.G.I.C is, is very dear to my heart. Let me say this. I don't know what's going on over there, J. Drew Sheard. Here's my public message to those folks in the C.O.G.I.C church. You have always seemed to be a sort of stand-up guy. I know there might be some private things that I don't know or that I'm not aware of, but you've always seemed to be a stand-up kind of dude, right? You've been a man. That's what I'm trying to say. You've been a dude. And I don't understand what's going on over there with the C.O.G.I.C leadership, with Talbert Swan, with Shane Perry, and also with Moses Tyson. I don't like the way you all are, to me. Now, this is my opinion. I just feel like you guys are targeting a lot of people. And it seems to me like this is a retribution administration. I don't believe that you guys should be behaving in such a manner, regardless of the fact that you think that Moses Tyson is messing with your brand. A lot of us are privy to a lot of stuff, and we know a lot of stuff. So you coming after him saying that nobody's churches have never been taken from them, sir, I don't know what you're thinking you're going to get out of this, but I think you all might need to rethink your position. That's my humble opinion. And I really wish you would stop what you're doing. And speaking of stopping what you're doing, keep in mind, sir, you are the same man that let Myron Williams get up on that stage and tell them people he was C.O.G.I.C. and he was going to a C.O.G.I.C church, and now all of a sudden I'm hearing you all that now Myron is running around here talking about he's gonna leave Marvin Winans church, not Marvin Winans, I'm sorry, because one Marvin deserves another. Marvin Sapp's church, and I guess he's gonna go back to, he's gonna find him a C.O.G.I.C church to go to. But you let that man get up there in front of all of them saints and tell that daggum lie. Shameful, shameful, shameful. I don't know what it is about the what's going on right now. It's something in the atmosphere that's just letting you all think that you could say what you want and get away what you want, and nobody's going to question you and nobody's going to say anything. But let me just tell you this, J. Drew Sheard, you, as far as I'm concerned, you were a stand-up dude. So I don't look at you like I look at some of these other people. You know what I mean? And you do not get, and you got to the place that you're in C.O.G.I.C because a lot of people wanted you there. You got voted in, and regardless of how other people feel about it, you were voted in. So they can dislike you all they want to, but you were voted in. And at the end of the day, sir, I think that you can do what you're doing without being so, in my opinion, so retaliatory. You're just being retaliatory. And I don't understand why that is. And that's what's caused me such great pause when it comes to you. And I think that you might want to fix that. Okay. That's my opinion as far as that's concerned. And I wanted to address you because, to tell you the truth, J. Drew Sheard, you got a lot of people out here looking at the C.O.G.I.C church with a side eye. Y'all can talk about the vloggers are causing that problem, but the people in the whole wide world are looking at you crazy, especially when you tried to make the alliance with the Mormons and you was doing all of these kind of shady, shaky moves that you were making. You understand? And I want y'all to hear me really well. It doesn't matter because it's church. Just because it's church doesn't mean they don't move like politicians. The orange man in chief is making all of these backhanded deals in order for him to become even wealthier. A lot of church people who get in positions of power make a lot of power moves behind the scenes in order to enrich themselves financially. Are y'all getting what I'm trying to tell you? So a lot of the moves that I'm seeing is not necessarily to further C.O.G.I.C, in my opinion. I think it's to enrich certain people within the organization. And I don't think that that's going to play out well for you guys in the long run. And so you might want to reconsider some of the moves that you're making, because everybody is watching you. Okay, everybody's watching you. I don't care nothing. I'm gonna tell you, when I learned about Myron Williams, this Myron Williams fella, he was over there with Juanita Bynum. Case closed. I don't even need to say nothing else. I learned about Myron from Juanita Bynum. He was over there hanging out with Juanita Bynum. And let me tell you, anybody who hangs out with Juanita Bynum my eyebrows are gonna raise when it comes to you. For real, for real. Because Juanita Bynum and them Bynamites is a whole tribe. Let me tell you something. They're a whole different clan. They're a whole different clan. And I'm just saying, for me, J. Drew, you might want to fix your situation, and you might want to just come clean and address the people regarding Myron's true church affiliation, and stop trying to blow smoke up people's butt. Now, here's the thing. He might have started off C.O.G.I.C and then went over to the Pentecostal Assembly of the World Church. He might have done that. And then you can, talk about his history and things about his from childhood. But as far as adulthood, nobody out here in these streets are saying that Myron is a C.O.G.I.C and a part of the C.O.G.I.C church. And clearly, he would not have had to step away from Marvin Sapp's church if he really felt in his heart that he was doing the right thing. Because if you're leading C.O.G.I.C people, you know what I'm saying, and saying that you're C.O.G.I.C, most C.O.G.I.C people are going to look at your loyalty to their church. And I hate to say it like this, but this is really what it's come to nowadays. This sounds like more like a social club than it does a church, you all, because people feel a certain type of way if you are not coming, if you're not a part of their sort of quote church, right? If you're not a part of their organization, these C.O.G.I.C people are serious about this stuff. And I think it's a slap in the face to C.O.G.I.C people for you to put a person in position who obviously wasn't even C.O.G.I.C when there are other capable people inside of C.O.G.I.C. Now, here's another thing that you have to give. You got to think about Bishop Sheard. We'll go there. Sheard. Bishop Sheard. Does Myron have privileges that women who were in that same position? Is he allowed to do certain things that women who were in that same position or that did not have, or were they able to move with some authoritative positioning that that Myron is moving with? You got to ask yourself that question. And this is what making a lot of us side eye you guys, for real, for real. And I believe those things need to be talked about. I think they're justified in people talking about it, and we need to just tell the truth. And at the end of the day, I'm Mad Church Disease, and I'm not afraid to ask the questions, and nor am I afraid to talk to you all and tell you how you're looking out here on these church streets.
Mad Church Disease, a channel that's all about current events, news, and Christian drama. A channel that's dedicated to our forgotten brothers and sisters throughout the ages. Our brothers and sisters who courageously stepped outside the safe bounds of institutional Christianity to tell the truth. A channel whose goal is to help the average person understand that Jesus plus nothing is everything. So comment, subscribe, and smash the notifications button to be a part of this channel.
Shout out to all of the subscribers and members of the Mad Church Disease channel. Thank you so very much. If you are new here to this place and space, please do me the awesome favor of hitting the like button. Okay. And if you are supporting the platform on tonight, please feel free to do so. The Cash App information is on the screen for you guys right below down here. Mad Church, $ Mad Church Disease. If you guys can help us reach our goal tonight so that we can get our piece of new equipment, I would really appreciate it. And I'm definitely going to get it. Hopefully by the end of the month, it'll be done. And so I really appreciate every single thing that you guys are doing for the Mad Church Disease channel. And it's going to help me really be able to sort of focus and make sure I'm looking here and not all the way around and everywhere. All right. So I appreciate that. So thank y'all for supporting the channel. Now, let me talk a little bit about EJ. All right. Now, let me tell y'all something. Some of you over here, y'all like, who is EJ? EJ is in a lawsuit with a so-called prophet named Prophet Lovy. Prophet Lovy and EJ are enthralled in this sort of legal battle in regards to a relationship that Lovy had with a woman when they're saying, some people are saying it was after he got married, but the primary time that he spent with this young lady, from my understanding, is before he got married. He might have had some text messages and some interactions with her once he got married. It's a whole different situation. I don't know. But let me just be forthcoming with you all tonight. I normally was going to really give you guys a little bit more detail about this story, but I pulled back from this story again, and here's the reason why I did it. When I talk about stories and I give you guys my my commentary, first of all, I like to give you guys my commentary unbiased, and I like to have a great sense of balance. I think that Lovy is first of all, I think Lovy's getting a raw deal in this situation. That's just my opinion. Y'all all know that I told you that EJ should just be quiet, but I think that EJ is doing what he's doing from a place of hurt. And I want y'all to hear what I'm saying to you. The same attitude and positioning of Larry towards Bernard is the same positioning that EJ has towards Lovy. What do you say? It's a little different, but I'm gonna help you understand what I mean. Larry was the mentee. Bernard was the mentor. EJ was, I think in his mind, he was equal with Lovy in his mind, but I've spoken with Lovy. Okay, I've spoken with Lovy. Lovey said, you know what? I looked at him like a little brother. I was helping him out. A lot of people wouldn't even know him if it wasn't for me because my name and so forth and so forth. And here's my thing. The more I've looked into this particular story, the more I've just been like, okay, EJ, what are you doing? And I'm not saying what I'm saying because I think that Lovey is innocent. Because see, this is the thing that people keep saying, well, Marcellus, why you take? I'm not taking up for anybody. I'm just giving you a balanced approach. And I really started to do a show that was really gonna make all y'all mad because I started to ask y'all a question. Are we okay with our black pastors being single men and dating? Are we okay with that? Because let me say the quiet thing out loud, and let me go ahead and get everybody mad at me tonight. Most of these preachers who are single are not celibate. They'll preach to you and tell you to be celibate. But most of the preachers are not, that are dating and stuff, they're not celibate. I'm just here to tell y'all. And here's the funny thing. A lot of black people who go to church, you know it, and you're fine with your, oh, come on now, Mary. Can I just tell the whole truth? Can I just be honest about it? I hope y'all don't think that all of these preachers is running around here with these women and they're all celibate. Now, I could name some names. But see, I get into a whole lot of trouble. And then y'all would say I was being messy because I could name some very famous people who have girlfriends and go live after they've gone to dinner at night and be walking on their way back to the house. Moving right along. But then when I say something, then y'all want to say, okay, we're the demonic folks and we just mad and tearing down the church. Okay, so here's another thing. Are we okay with black preachers having girlfriends? And let's be honest, they're not just having girlfriends, they're actually having sex. And are we okay with it because it's a heterosexual norm? Because to be frank with you, a lot of these people with these robes and these collars, some of them are not heterosexual. Some of them are putting things out in the front as if they are. But many of you who are impressed by a lot of these preachers and you just love they preaching, these dudes is not straight. I'm just being honest. I was going to do a whole show on what we thought about that because we're fine with the preacher as long as we know, he's sleeping with a woman, right? Hello, I need to get me some. I need to get me I got some stuff over here. Wait a minute. Let me go over here. Let me say this. Let me do this. Where is it? Where's my thing at? There it is. Folks is fine with it. If it's in that normative situation. Uh-oh. Did I lose my other thing? Hold on. Let me see which one this is. I'll be forgetting to use this stuff. All right, hold on. And don't let me get to using this stuff because there was one sound effect I thought I had, but I don't have it in here yet. I'll be ready for y'all in a minute. So here's the thing. We all know Brian Carn wasn't being celibate. We all know Jamal Bryant wasn't being celibate. We all know Lovey wasn't being celibate. We all know all the rest of a lot of these other preachers that I could be named and gospel singers. Oh. But see, this is what I be saying when I say we need to have a larger conversation because these people aren't celibate. They're preaching, a lot of times they're preaching one thing, but they're living something completely different. And if they ever gave you their biblical stance for the reason why they're doing what you were doing, a lot of you would sort of change your perspective. But then again, they're going to say to the world, then you're condoning sin. Let me move on. But EJ and the Owls, I don't understand why EJ is still going at Lovey, and I don't know why his lawyers have not told him to just stop. Every day is with another thumbnail. And here's what's so funny. He'll be talking about somebody totally different from Lovey, but he's trying to tie it to Lovey as if Lovey is responsible for the actions of other people. Because there's a whole nother man, I guess, over there that they found has been in some sort of illicit activity, but he got Lovey on the thumbnail. And I go over there, I'm like, well, what is Lovey doing on the thumbnail? Stupid. Just dumb. And I don't understand it. It just to me, it just doesn't make very much sense to me. But that's where I'm at with that. And we're 38 minutes into it, but y'all know I be giving commentary. Y'all know how I do. I want to talk to you all. Let me put this up before I get to this other story, and then I'm going to drop this link. I'm going to drop the link. Yes, moderators, I'm going to drop the link because I want to give everybody an opportunity to speak their piece. If you are supporting the Mad Church Disease channel, please do so. All of the ways of giving are on the screen here. Y'all make sure y'all support the platform tonight, because I do want to make sure that I'm able to accomplish what I need to accomplish this month. And I would appreciate it if you guys would support the platform. Okay. That information is on the screen, and I really do appreciate you guys helping out and helping us to reach our goals on tonight. All right. So thank y'all, if you don't mind. I know it's early in the week, but thank y'all for all the support you give. All right. So here we go. James Stockton. The man that you see in the final part of my thumbnail in the gray suit, his name is James Stockton. Daryl Moore and I, when we were out into the thick of dealing with certain things in regards to Larry, we ran across a lady by the name of Kimberly Brown. Now, Kimberly Brown is on a thumbnail on my channel. She has a video. I think it's the most viewed video on this channel. The video's entitled Pastor Kimberly Brown Loses Her Shite. And you know what I mean by shite. Yesterday, I was hanging some clothes up in the closet. And while I got ready to put the shirt on the thing, and I heard the Lord say, you know this man. And I said, I do. I said, I don't know this. In my mind, I'm saying, Lord, I don't know this man. I don't know this man. Sorry to this man, but I don't know this man. And the Lord said, yes, Marcellus, you do know him. I said, I do. I said, oh. I said, okay. The Lord said, Kimberly Brown, just like that. The Holy Ghost brought it back to my remembrance, just like that. I said, Kimberly Brown. So I went straight to my phone and started looking some stuff up. Let me explain something to y'all. Okay. This lady, Kimberly Brown, and her boyfriend, and I don't know if they're still boyfriend and girlfriend, etc., etc. Kimberly Brown ran into Daryl Moore and I throughout this whole Larry escapade, right? And Kimberly is a pastor. She pastors a church. If you watch the video on my channel, she was railing about people, running up her water bill and all this kind of stuff. But Daryl and I went over into her chat one day and we was talking to her in her live. And she got mad because Daryl Moore said to her, your boyfriend or your fiance is not a straight man. He is a gay man. That's what Daryl Moore told that woman in her own chat. She went off on Daryl. I mean, she went off. She started prophesying, telling Daryl he had a credit score of 450. Then she said Daryl was going to be in a car accident or all of this kind of stuff. I mean, she just went down the line with all these false prophecies, right? And so when I was hanging up my shirt in the closet, the Lord said, you know this man. Now somebody said, who is this man? And Marcellus, why are you bringing this up? Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you do not mind, let me share my screen with you. Amen. And bless God. Right? All right. Ladies and gentlemen, for commentary purposes, I'm going to stop and start this video. And this is the whole shebang of why I wanted to come live tonight. Here lies the purpose of tonight's live. This is James Stockton. Pastor James Stockton, and here is what happened to him, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, I can tell you that people here in Torrance, people who know the pastor, they are shocked and quite frankly struggling to believe the criminal charge against him.
My soul cries out, hallelujah! I thank God for saving me.
A self-proclaimed man of God goes from the pulpit to a public walk of shame.
Now, I'm going to have to stop and start it for copyright reasons, so just calm down, y'all. But I want you to know this is a pretty tall, big dude. This guy's pretty big. He ain't no little dude. He's a big dude. If you notice in this photograph, they had to double handcuff him. I don't even know the word of how you describe it. They double handcuffed him. Okay. He's a big fellow. And yeah, so I'm going to get to that in a minute. Let me keep going. Here we go.
To a courtroom to face serious allegations involving a minor.
Sir, is your true and correct name James David Stockton III? Yes.
54-year-old James Stockton, a senior pastor at the South Bay Church of God, is facing a felony charge.
And let me just say this. He is 54 years old and he looks horrible. He's 54 years old. He doesn't look like he's been taking very good care of himself. I am 50 years old. I want you to hear what I just said. I am 50 years old. So that means Pastor James Stockton is what, 4 years older than me? He says 54 years old. He's only got me by 4 years. Sir, what are you doing? What are you doing to yourself? But I'm going to share some stuff, and maybe he's had some health challenges or something, but you need to take better care of yourself. But obviously, you know, that's going to be hard to do from behind bars. But anyway, here we go, you all. Let me play the rest of it.
Of arranging a meeting with a minor for lewd purposes. He pled not guilty.
Let me go back.
Lewd purposes.
So
He
you can
pled
hear what
felony
the charges
charge
are.
of arranging a meeting with a minor for lewd purposes. He pled not guilty.
There is no actual picture.
These are the ones that we trust.
I want to send a shout out to Antoine. Is it Antone, founder of Caught Fished. It was a Black organization that actually caught this pastor. So shout out to this content creator. And I promise I'm going to look him up and find him this week. If somebody knows who he is already, you can just hit me with a link to him so I can send him some big ups and maybe a cash app. Somebody send me that information. Shout out to him. But we're going to get into it in a little bit.
And we should be able to trust them with our kids.
Antoine is the founder of an online citizen group called Caught Fished. Members chat with adults who believe they're talking with a minor for the purpose of a sexual encounter.
So he very well knew that he was talking to somebody underage.
These are the text exchanges allegedly between Pastor Stockton and the person pretending to be a 16-year-old boy. In this one, Stockton appears to send a selfie asking what time you get out of school today. Here, Stockton allegedly texted, "I promise to be gentle and make sure you are enjoying it."
Did you hear what the text message say? What time you getting out of school today? Now, there's another video that they have on the internet, if you're lucky enough to find it, where Stockton is saying he thought the person was in college, and he was just asking them, because this Antoine guy got him on video and started questioning him on video. He say, and Pastor Stockton is saying, "Oh, I thought he was in college." No, Pastor Stockton, you didn't think this man was in no college. You lying through your teeth and you know better, right? Then he says, "I promise to be gentle and to make sure that you enjoying it." Say what now? I want to just send a shout out to Daryl Moore. Y'all don't think that Daryl Moore was being prophetical, but Daryl Moore was being prophetical when he was in Kimberly Brown's chat, and Daryl Moore told her boyfriend and fiance was gay. Let me tell you why Daryl said it. Daryl Moore and I was in that chat, and Kimberly Brown was talking to us, etc. Let me tell you why. Kimberly Brown was talking all this yip yap. And you know, Daryl and I are grown men. So she was saying some old stupid church stuff, you know, stupid church lady stuff. Let me tell you something. She was saying that when she gets out of the shower and she's dripping naked, that James Stockton, she would have to run around the house and chase James in order for him to do anything, and he would run out of the house. And me and Daryl Moore told this woman, we said, listen here, I don't care how saved you are and how much you love the Lord. If any woman is dripping wet, getting out of the shower, and I am in that same room, I'm so sorry, I'll have to repent tomorrow, but you are getting plowed like an open field. Oh, yes, sir. Oh, yes, sir. Bless his name. And I'll repent for it tomorrow. Thank you, Jesus. There is no man on the planet that I know that can see a woman dripping wet. Oh, my God. I just think I don't know if I don't think that was the spirit I just felt, but I know I felt something down there. Wait. There is no man on the planet, do you hear me, that will see a woman dripping wet and run up out the house hollering and screaming and jump in his car and drive off. No, you about to get lit from head to toe. You understand what I'm saying? I don't know what kind of foolishness. And Daryl and I are trying to tell her this in the chat. So she gets pissed off. I mean, she just goes off on Daryl Moore like you couldn't believe. I'll continue in a minute.
The nasty part that no pastor should even be talking about, but he got to saying that he wanted to the boys.
On the day Stockton met up with the decoy who said he was 16, the pastor had this to say.
Actually, I was hoping and praying that it was somebody older.
Senior pastor of South Bay Church of God here in the beautiful city of Torrance.
This man is 54 years old.
California.
At South Bay Church of God in Torrance, no one would go on camera.
We don't know.
Now, Torrance is an adjacent city in Los Angeles County. Now, either I'm tripping because I thought this man, I don't know, and somebody might need to correct the record because I could be wrong, okay, in this, what I'm about to tell you. I thought this man was up north in California, and now he's in Torrance, California. But somebody also reminded me he was pastoring in Florida, because that's how him and Kim, because Kim is over there in Florida. So I don't know what's going on with this pastor, this bishop, but it seems like they're moving him around a lot. And just based on my experience doing this kind of work for as long as I've done this kind of work, normally when they move bishops and pastors around like this, it is because they have been caught doing things more than once. And they will typically keep moving these pastors and these bishops around, right? Y'all feel me? And so something is up with this dude. And now this is my opinion. This is opinion. I'm not saying that this is fact, what I'm about to say, but I'm gonna just say this. Normally, when somebody gets put in this type of position, this is not the first time that this man has ever done this, in my opinion. I don't think so. Not, I promise to make it gentle and to make sure that you're enjoying it, and you're saying this to a minor. Oh, okay.
Know anything other than what we see on the video.
Let me go back because they're knocking on the church door, and I want y'all to hear what these crazy church people say. Check this out.
No one would go on camera.
We don't know anything other than what we see on the video. Nothing. We don't know. It was a shock to us as everybody else.
Stockton is also affiliated with a church in Florida, and at one point he ran for Congress. Tonight he is out on his own recognizance, and he will be back in court, scheduled for December 12th.
All right. So he ran for Congress, and he is scheduled to be back in court on December the 12th, which is not too many days hence. And so there lies the Stockton fellow. Okay. Now let me go ahead and share some things here. Just so that you know, this is Kimberly Brown, and this is Pastor James Stockton. That's him. That's the same man, just so that y'all know. Okay. It's the same dude. All right. And I want to publicly say here, and this is also the same dude. I don't know what's been going on with these, situations, but let me have a conversation with y'all for just a minute, if y'all don't mind. I've been in church my entire life. Y'all listen to me. I've been in church my whole life. I have watched women date men in the church that they knew were full on gay men. And they will date these men in hopes that these men will marry them for position because they're a bishop. They may be bringing in money. They may be able to give them some clout and all of these types of things. When this woman got on the internet and said that she would jump out of the shower. Now, because I'm a critical thinker, that lets me know that Bishop Stockton was over at the house while you was in the shower. And he was in a position to see you naked, dripping wet. Okay? That's how my mind works. And to say that the man ran out of the house clearly says to me that he didn't want what you was offering at the table. Because listen, for real, y'all. I have, well, how do I want to say that? Well, it don't matter. I'm a grown man. I've been with some flat out people that I didn't think was all that attractive, but that body was bang, yang, 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 yanging. You understand what I'm trying to tell you? Okay. They may not have had it all up here, but they had great personality and the body was bang, yang, 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 yanging. Okay. I'm just here to tell you. So, just understand something. So you can't tell me as a dude that you're dripping wet. Oh my God. Lord have mercy. And this man is going to run out of the room. Where am I pointing to? Am I pointing to the right side? And then you're going to say, oh, he's your boyfriend. He's straight and all of this other kind of stuff. You better go back somewhere and tell that to somebody else, because grown men know you're full of shite. And when Daryl and I tried to tell you that this man was not a straight dude, you were rude to us. And get this. From what I understand, this same woman is either a relative or a close personal friend of King Jive's. She's supposed to be a relative or a friend of something. I'm just letting y'all know, because she's been over there on his platform before. You're talking about, oh, she said he ran out because he was a holy man. Holy man. And I'm only bringing up the Jive's piece so you all understand something. So we've all been in close proximity to these people and know this stuff, just so you know. Okay? So Kimberly Brown, don't come over here trying to tell us that we didn't know what we was talking about. Obviously, we did. Obviously, your ex or your boyfriend, I don't know if y'all are still going together. Obviously, Daryl Moore knew what he was talking about. Obviously, you needed to not be so disrespectful as it related to Daryl Moore, because Daryl Moore knew what he was talking about. Now, let me just say this. I don't harbor any ill will feelings towards Kimberly Brown. She lost one of her daughters in a horrific way. So I'm not speaking about this to put her down in any way. I'm just simply letting you know, Kimberly Brown, you were wrong about Daryl Moore, and Daryl Moore was right. And I know how it gets in you guys' craw. to just admit when Daryl Moore is right, because some of you just hate Daryl Moore. But I just have to say he was right again. Okay? Okay. So ain't no need of you getting mad and getting upset. But we told you, Kimberly Brown. We told you. So don't be all upset and don't be mad because we did tell you. All right. And that's what we did. And that's what we said. So I'll leave it there, lady. I just wanted y'all to know Kimberly Brown's either ex-boyfriend or boyfriend, he has been found, charged with a felony charge trying to meet a teen, sending out those salacious text messages and so forth and so on. I dropped the link for anybody who wants to come up and talk about any of the subject matters that I've covered on tonight. That includes all subject matters. I will go ahead and address whatever you want. The person is not on my thumbnail, so I can talk about whatever I want because he's not on the thumbnail. That is the agreement. He cannot be on the thumbnail, and he is not on the thumbnail. That's all I want to say on that is concerned. So you all are welcome to come up. Don't do it. Don't take too long to do it because y'all know I'll be hit the button and going out of here. But that's the situation. That's the whole situation. Stockton is on his way to the courthouse. He's out on his own recognizance. Oh, let me tell y'all something. He's going to get a slap on the wrist, I feel, with this kind of stuff. And let me tell you why. Because he's a bishop. He's a pastor. And we always excuse this stuff. Why? I don't know. Why? I just don't know. I really don't know. But this is the situation. And so she can't say we didn't know what we were talking about, Daryl. She can't say we didn't know what we were talking about. And that's the situation. I like this picture better of the two of y'all than that other picture. But that's the situation, you guys. So that's what I have to say for tonight. I hope Bernard Jordan will listen to what I said and run from Larry and stay away from Larry. Whatever he does, he needs to stay away from that man. Now, I talked about Myron Williams, Mary. As far as I'm concerned, Myron's stepping away from Marvin Sapp's church, and he's probably going to go join some C.O.G.I.C church so he can prove to people that he's an actual C.O.G.I.C person. I think that's just, the games that we're playing in church is just so stupid. The games that we're playing in church is just so stupid. And we all knew Myron, and he only is leaving that church because he feels guilty about lying. And, it's kind of like, when you're a kid and your mama asks you something and you don't tell the truth, and then you hold on to it for a long time. And because you have a good conscience, you go back to your mom and you be like, Mom, I wasn't telling the truth. I don't know if y'all have ever done that before, but it eats at you so bad that you got to go to your parent and be like, Mom, I didn't tell the truth. I just got to tell you what it was. You know what I'm saying? And then you just got to admit what happened. And then you like, oh, shoot, I didn't have to tell my mama the truth. But it is what it is. But yeah. Listen, I don't even know Pratt Mary. I don't know. Daryl, I don't know what you said. Daryl, you was typing too fast. What's going to everybody except Myron Williams? I don't know what you mean by that, Daryl. You're gonna have to come up and explain yourself. I believe he was forced to leave. Well, yeah, he had to leave because them people at C.O.G.I.C keep good records. Well, for the most part, the only records that they don't keep really well is the money. They don't keep the money get missing all the time over there. Allegedly, they don't keep good records over there. Here's the thing. I'm fine if that's what he wants to do. It's okay. What's up, Regina? Didn't I see? Was that Regina I saw here? No, that wasn't her. That was Fat Boys Bakery. Go ahead, Fat Boys Bakery. Okay. Don't mind the position. So yeah, I'm with you. I got you. Oh, he said I would say good evening to everybody except Myron. Well, he just lied. That's all it is. And And he said, yes, they do pay the musicians. Yeah, they do, of course. And the musicians deserve to be paid. Don't nobody should be used like that. I'm sorry. Somebody said this is the story of everybody hates Myron. Listen here. No, Myron hates himself because Myron thought that he could treat Sybil Finney like crap. And you're gonna treat Sybil Finney like crap, and then you're gonna try to pull us, oh, I'm a C.O.G.I.C dude, when everybody know that you no. Them C.O.G.I.C folk was not gonna stand for that. They were not gonna stand for that. It just wasn't gonna happen. It wasn't gonna happen. That's the bottom line. And the only reason why I'm telling you guys about this Stockton fella is because of the history with Daryl Moore and myself. That Kimberly Brown was rude. She was so rude. Even though one of our moderators and folks over here sent her a couple of wigs because she was on the internet, with them dry wigs, and we was like, no, lady, you gotta have a different wig. And the person I know sent her a couple of wigs in the mail. I don't think to this day she knows we're the ones who sent her those wigs. I don't think she knows. I don't think she knows we the ones. Listen here, Lynn and Moni. I don't think she know we sent her those wigs, because we never came out here in the public and was like, yeah, we sent you that hair and them wigs and stuff. She probably to this day don't even know we the ones that sent her them wigs. I'm just saying. I bet you anything, Lynn, to this day she don't know that them the wigs were sent. Yeah, because she wasn't looking right. She kept coming on the internet and her hair was all jacked up. So we sent her some wigs. Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did. I won't say we. We as a collective, we sent her them wigs. I'll say it that way. we sent her as a collective. We sent her them daggone wigs. But I have some questions for you all in the chat, and for those of you that are going to be hitting the like button. Do you think? Well, I already know the answer to this for myself, but do you all think that Larry Reid is going to let this Bernard or Jordan thing go? Do y'all think so? Because I don't think so. I don't think he is. I don't think Larry's letting this go. I think he is after Bernard. That's my humble opinion. I don't care what y'all say. I think he is after Bernard, and he ain't gonna never let this go until he gets his lick back. Yeah, he's not until he gets his lick back. Y'all gonna be talking about this for 12,000 years. Somebody said, how do we sign up? Well, listen, it was a random type situation. I want to tell you the truth. Yeah, it's a random situation. And, we should have stuck around and see if she put on those wigs, because I think we did. I just don't remember, Lynn. But Satum done lied to some of these people. Satum lied to her, too. Satum lied to her. And for those of you, let me pull this up since I'm waiting on some people to come up here. Let me do this. Let me do this. Hold on. I got to do this. I got you, Daryl. All right, Daryl, can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, sir. Let me see here. You're live. I'm looking up something right now, so you get to talking. You can talk about, just say whatever you want, and then I'll come back to you.
No. Good evening, everybody. I was just hopping on this Saturday night before I head out. I was just gonna crack a joke because I saw that the video officially Myron announcing he's leaving Chosen Vessel, and I was just like, you were with this church for 30 years, and you think nobody gonna call that out after you lied?
Right.
In front of everybody. You and Bishop Sheard lied for no reason at all.
Pretty much.
For no reason at all. And it looks as though, the people at Chosen Vessel was offended by how he did that.
Well, I mean, if you would have been at a church for all of those years, and Myron's been a part of your church family for all of those years, or your local assembly, and then all of a sudden he starts denying you till he go to another church, you'd be like, when he here this last time?
And it's clear as day that everybody knows you're a part of that said church when your face and your name It's all on every bulletin, auxiliary information, and on their website.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So that's just how I feel about it, Daryl. I mean, they just lied. But I think for the most part, Bishop Sheard has been a stand-up dude, right?
Yeah.
I don't know why he chose to go down with Myron with that lie. Like, I feel like you could have found a bigger lie to go down for than this lie. Like, that part I don't get.
It was like he was doing that to go after, and he even said it in the statement, like, y'all don't listen to these bloggers and they don't know what they're talking about. It's like, oh, okay, I'll give you that as a devil's advocate. But to stand there in front of your entire convocation and lie as a minister, that's where I'm just like, what? It's like it's like when I was in trouble and my dad would get me. He was like, I already know you're in trouble. Don't lie to me because you're offending me by lying.
Pretty much. And telling the truth is not even so much about the lie. It's about you recognizing that you're outside of the place that you should be, and you don't need to be there. You're standing in a cesspool of lie when you really can live in the freedom of the truth, because the truth may not necessarily get you the result that you're thinking you're going to get.
Right.
You understand? Because they respect the fact that you're the bishop and you can put anybody in the position that you choose to do so. But when you stand in the lie, people are gonna be like, this dude, like, for real, like, you crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why you lying, Craig? You ain't gotta lie.
And it brings your character into question, because it's like, if you lying about this blatant thing, what else you lying about?
Absolutely. And I just want to pause here for just a moment, because we're going to have a sermonic solo by the Reverend Billy Locklear. He wants to talk to our great, wonderful bishops. He wants to talk to you guys. Let me see if I can add this to the stage here. And let me add this. Reverend Billy Locklear wants to ask you a question because Satum done lied to you.
I need $50. I'm behind on my
this is Reverend. He's gonna sing us. God called him.
God called me.
God called him.
You know I got to have money to keep the program on the air.
Yeah, it's TV.
Call in a donation.
Call in a donation.
See, I want to help you, Billy.
I gotta help you, Billy.
I want to help you.
I want to help you.
Praise God that you need. Call me.
Call me.
Call me.
Call that number.
Write me.
Write me.
Call right now. Praise God. Say, Billy.
Billy.
I'm going to help you.
I'm going to help you.
I thank God.
I thank God.
I'm just dearly excited.
He's going to sing a sermonic solo, ladies and gentlemen.
Tonight I have felt Jesus.
He's felt Jesus.
I have felt God, Jesus Christ, stronger tonight than I have felt him in a long time, my friend.
Now y'all watch this.
Sunday I felt it strong again. He's just moving.
He's just moving.
The power of God is moving.
Power of God is moving.
We're going to sing you a song.
You're going to sing y'all a song.
And while we're singing, call them numbers.
Call them numbers.
We're going to sing you a song, Don't Let the Devil Ride.
No.
Well, Satum lied to me.
Satum, yeah. Satum lied.
Satum lied to me. I got my song a little mixed up.
Not Satan. Satum lied to you.
Has Satum ever told you a lie? Huh? Has he? Well, listen to this hymn as we play this song.
Satum lied to me. Go ahead and sing it, Billy. Go ahead and sing it, Billy. Go ahead, Billy.
Satan lied to me. Satan told a
lie to me.
Said he'd be my friend.
Come on here, Bishop Sheard.
All I'd ever need.
He lied to you, Bishop.
Satan lied to me. Satan lied to me. Satan told a lie to me.
He done lied to you, Bishop.
Hey, Jesus gonna be your friend. He's all you ever need, sir. Jesus gonna be your friend. He's all you ever need. Jesus gonna be your friend. He's all you ever need.
What you gonna say? Satum,
great big
friend of mine.
Yeah. Satum done lied to you.
Satum done lied to you.
Satum told a lie to you. Said he'd be your friend. Hallelujah.
Oh my God. That is so funny. Okay, let me behave myself. And for all of you that's spelling it wrong, it is Satum. That's Saydum. That's Satum done lied to you. And we want to thank and praise God for Reverend Locklear coming and blessing us with that sermonic solo. Daryl, Satum lied to Bishop. That's what the problem was. Satum lied to him.
Lord have mercy. I'll take him over. I'll tell you this. I'll take that over Manasseh Jordan any day of the week. I'll tell you that much right there.
Right? I know that's right. Well, here's the thing. I am so glad that, first of all, some people are starting to really see it.
Mhm.
And I called Daryl. Daryl's on vacation right now. And I told Daryl, I said, Daryl, I just had to bring you this news. I'm sorry while you're on your vacation, but this is a blessing for you. This is God's gift to you while you're on vacation. They can say whatever they want, but Daryl was right. And when Daryl told that woman what he told that woman, the woman just got upset because she was being rude and disrespectful. So all Daryl did was tell her the truth. No straight man is going to leave a dripping wet woman. You feel me? And be like, oh, no, I'm out of here. Listen, I love the Lord, but let me tell you something. It would have took every archangel. It would have took everything known to man to get me to leave a room with somebody dripping wet and butt naked. Oh, Lord have mercy. I'd have been repenting. I'd have been down to the altar. You know how we do. You sin and go on, make your trek right on back down to the altar. Jesus, forgive me, Lord, forgive me. You know how we used to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just saying. So now,
Oh my God.
but bless Daryl because he's had to take a whole lot of stuff, but he was right.
Yeah.
And that woman can't say that Daryl wasn't telling her the truth, and she did all of that fake prophecy foolishness, and look what happened to her. And look what happened to her. Look what happened to her.
Oh, off topic. Did you see that? I think a few nights ago you were talking about that goofball Brian McKnight. Did you see that his ex-wife finally responded?
Listen, it's up on my TV right now. I will be watching it as soon as we get.
It was phenomenal.
I can't wait to watch it. It's on my TV right now, waiting for this live to end.
Yeah, her and her son, and they talked very clearly. Excuse me. They spoke about their truth. Brian Jr. was like, I love my dad, but he has issues. And it is clear as day. You can see it. It's visible. I said, this is the last time we're going to talk about him. But, at the end of the day, the ex-wife, and I'll let you watch it.
Right.
She said flat out, keep my dad's son's name out your mouth.
Okay, I'm going to go here. I know you talking about Brian McKnight, but since we talking about douchebags, did y'all see this Diddy mini series on Netflix? Am I the only one that saw this Diddy
series?
I watched it.
I watched it. Oh, I got some breaking news that came out of that too.
Okay, well, you tell me the breaking news, and then then I'll get into it.
So you saw the whole series, right?
Yes.
So the musician Lil Rod.
Yes.
Guess what came out? Guess who's his nephew or his uncle? Excuse me.
Who's his uncle?
You know him.
Do I?
Who's
his uncle?
Sir Walter.
Oh, you talking about Sir Walter Jones here on the internet? Oh my God, from Zion. Lying.
No, it came out yesterday that's Sir Walter's nephew.
Okay, so let me go back. I started talking to my homeboys. I was making phone calls after this, doc. I was like, hey, let me call my homies. So I called one of my friends and I was like, yo, Eric. I was like, I said Little Rod part came at the end, right? And he was like, Little Rod, who's Little Rod? And I'm like, you didn't see Little Rod at the end of the documentary? Little Rod has become such a blip in this whole situation, right? Nobody was, and you know why? It's because this is when I really be wanting to cuss, but thank the Lord. The Lord's working on me. His lawyer's Tyrone Blackburn.
Oh, good God.
No, for real. You didn't know his lawyer was Tyrone Blackburn?
No, I did not. All these ninjas are.
His lawyer is Tyrone Blackburn, bro.
That's why his case got dismissed.
Exactly.
That's exactly because He has a major case. And on top of that, he has documented evidence that he produced that look. You know, he didn't get production credit for that, right?
He didn't get his money. You know how much they were going to pay him. He said it in the documentary.
He said it in the documentary.
Yeah. $29,000.
And he still ain't got his money.
Still ain't got his money. Diddy is a horrible, and you know how they got the footage of this for the documentary.
Yeah, because he didn't pay the videographer.
Diddy didn't even pay the videographer. These people get so much money, they just feel like they don't want to pay people. This must be a New York thing, because Donald Trump is synonymous for this too.
It has to be, because it's just like there's no excuse for you not paying people. You got all this money and you're not paying them. That's just their way of like being like they so high above they can do what they want to do.
Right. Now, Andrea, I was just like you. I once was a you. I said to myself, Marcellus, I ain't watching this. Why did Marcellus say this? Because Marcellus said, I can't stand no 50 Cent. This is what I was saying to myself. I can't stand 50 Cent. Anybody who know me know I cannot stand. Now, I like his music. Now, I like his music now. You got to know me. I love his rap.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, I'm not watching this documentary. 50 Cent is the worst troll on the internet that I know. And I don't like 50 Cent because he be harassing people and bothering people. He's the worst. But I said, I don't know what hit me. I said, let me go on and watch this documentary. Let me tell you the most shocking thing in this documentary for me, Andrea, that I did not know. And when the way they put these pieces together in this documentary, you can clearly see these people have been playing gangster with each other's lives. And Diddy has been, P. Diddy has been, like, in my opinion, one of the ringleaders of this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
When Tupac got shot at his studio, that was a setup.
Yeah.
Complete setup, right?
Yeah.
So they can't say that wasn't no setup, complete setup. But let me tell you what got me, Daryl, is when they shot what's the man's name over there? Death Row? Suge-Knight. When they shot Suge-Knight's best friend in front of him, and that man say he pointed the gun at him, looked over at Suge-Knight, and just started shooting. And Suge-Knight got so scared, he grabbed P. Diddy by the neck and by the throat and started choking him and putting P. Diddy up like a shield because he was afraid that the man was going to turn the gun on him and start shooting. I said to myself, while I'm watching this, I said, because you got to watch it, Andrea. I declare, just for what I just
watch it.
Listen, Andrea, for what I just told you, that's why you should watch that documentary. That was the most telling thing. And you knew that they were telling the truth.
Mm-hmm.
You knew that they were telling the truth. I was like, I never even knew that's how Suge Knight's best friend was murdered.
In front of his face.
He was murdered in front of his own best friend with Sean P. Diddy and them all around watching this go down. So this was something else. I said, oh my God.
And for years, people around the industry thought that Suge was the mad one.
Right.
They thought Suge was the crazy person. I think that that's a calculated lie. I do not think Suge Knight is what they say that people say he is. I think that he's a gangster. I think that he had the West Coast vibe, but there's other things, instances, especially from this documentary. I think this is a calculated revisionist history on Suge Knight. I really do.
Well, I yes, and I'm gonna say this: the same way that people look at Suge Knight is how people look at Daryl Moore. They think Daryl Moore is crazy. They think Daryl Moore's off the wall because these people done painted this ridiculous picture of Daryl Moore. Now, y'all know Daryl and I, we fought about issues and what I agree with, don't like. But at the end of the day, Daryl is a black man raising his own sons. And I look at Daryl Moore a lot. I look at him completely different from a lot of y'all. Y'all going to have to stop trying to attribute certain things to Daryl Moore that are not who he is. And people say, well, Marcellus, why are you always saying these things about Daryl? Because it's just the truth. You know, and I'm just not going to continue to let you guys create these narratives. Same way with Tasha Global. They came out here trying to paint Tasha Global as she was some crazy lady that went to Lamar Whitehead's church and she was just an old crazy nutbag. No. That woman went there with a purpose because she had been already studying this man and watching this man for a long time. But back to the documentary, Daryl, that we were speaking of. Suge Knight is crazy.
Oh, yeah.
He crazy. but not as crazy, and he wasn't working behind the scenes like people thought he was. And what got me is the Craig Mack part of it. When Craig Craig Mack's wife started talking, I said, well, I just be daggum.
I knew about Craig Mack because
but he died penniless.
He died penniless in the backwoods of Mississippi.
He was broke when he had made. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
And let me add this to this. Tell me why before he died, Diddy, and this is documented too. Remember when Diddy had the 25th Bad Boy anniversary?
Mm-hmm.
They had the nerve to call Craig Mack back to be a part of the anniversary tour. And he was like, y'all still owe me $1 million+ for my first LP. Right. Why am I coming back to? We'll bring it over to you and we'll give you your masters. He's like, and this is in the documentary for the 25th anniversary. He's like, that masters ain't worth nothing. I only have one album.
Right.
What am I gonna get off of that?
Right.
Those are his last words before he died.
He came to P. Diddy and something was going on with P. Diddy. I mean, with Craig Mack, and he asked Diddy for some money. Because he was out there working and touring and stuff, and he asked Diddy for some money. So according to the documentary, Diddy pulled out a wad of money like this from out of his pocket and handed Craig Mack $100 bill. $100 bill.
Now, mind you, at the time, Craig Mack was the #1 act on Bad Boy. Not Biggie, it was Craig Mack. Right. Biggie was introduced on Craig Mack's album.
Now, oh Lord, we got a familiar face. I don't think I've seen him in forever. You better be coming up here saying something good and not off the wall, because I don't want to hear nothing.
Oh Lord.
I don't want to hear nothing about no Patrick Wooten. So don't you say nothing about no Patrick Wooten.
Hey, y'all talking about the doc, right?
We're talking about the documentary, the P. Diddy documentary.
Yeah, the documentary. Yeah, it's interesting. I thought the Kirk Burroughs exposing everything, I thought that was very interesting, because I heard his story before, but you know what I'm saying? I thought that was the most interesting part because he owned like part of the label or whatnot, and to be robbed of it, that's
that's a good point. Now that was a good point. Yeah, speaking of that, that was a good point.
He got robbed of it, but you got to look a little deeper. You got to think about his relationship with the Puff Daddy dude. You know what I'm saying? They had it like, I used to watch his bodyguard Gene Deal talk a lot, and he talked about how a lot of them guys went to college with him and all of that, and they had like a strange relationship.
Yeah, they did. But the man did admit that there were some essay things that was done to him by P. Diddy, so he admitted that. But Dion brings up an interesting thing that I had kind of forgot about as it relates to this documentary. Y'all got to keep in mind that according to the documentary, if you was a popular rapper back in the day, P. Diddy made it his thing to go after your girl. Like he had to have your girl. And there was a couple of, because I didn't know that Kim Porter was I had forgotten that she was with Albie Sure, right?
Yes. Diddy's oldest son, Quincy, that's Albie Sure's son.
Yes, I know. Yeah, I know. And so this whole story is really interesting, you all. And you definitely, if you didn't watch the documentary, my advice is to go ahead and go watch that documentary, because it was well worth the watch. And you know what I said when I was watching it? I wish Biggie and Tupac was still alive.
Yeah.
That's what I said when I saw it. I said they didn't deserve that. They didn't deserve that.
Here's my question. Now, I've been watching all documentaries on Diddy and Tupac, Biggie and Tupac for decades. Where did they find that video of the shooting at the Soul Train Awards?
Oh, they've always had it. Did you see? They said never been seen before footage.
Never before seen footage.
They had it. They had it this whole time. They lying through their teeth.
I ain't never seen that a damn and clear as day.
Yeah,
on VHS.
And did you hear the man say they were going to try to drive Biggie to the hospital, and the man started yelling, "You going the wrong effing way, turn around, I'm trying to tell you." So the person that was even driving the car, he didn't even know where he was going. He was in LA, and the man was trying to tell him, "Look, you going the wrong way, turn around." But these people was in such a panic because he had gotten shot that instead of waiting for the ambulance to come, they thought they were going to drive to the hospital. Now, I live here, so y'all understand. You're
Mm-hmm.
on Fairfax and Wilshire. Do you know how far you have to go to get to the hospital on Fairfax and Wilshire? I was like, you would have never made it. The best thing to do was to wait for the ambulance because you was going to have to go too far to go to the hospital. So that whole thing to me seemed very, very odd. I have to admit it. Yeah. If y'all know where that's at, if you've been in LA ever before and you know where that museum is, because they actually had that party in the museum. It's the automobile museum. Trust me when I tell you, they was full of it. But the documentary is worth watching.
Yeah.
It is worth watching. Yeah.
It's produced very well.
Yeah. Oh, 50 Cent knew who he was after. Oh, yes,
Yeah.
he did.
Oh yeah.
The moral of the story of this is don't mess with 50 Cent.
Yeah, don't sleep with his baby mama.
50 Cent.
Don't sleep with his baby mama.
It ain't got nothing to do with the baby mama. I'm gonna tell you
Yes,
this.
it do.
No, it
Because P.
doesn't.
Diddy slept with his baby mama.
No, that's one of the reasons.
Wait a minute.
Okay.
You know darn well P. Diddy slept with his baby mama, and 50 Cent is still hot about that. I'm just saying.
I understand that. This is the truth. And 50 talked about this. When he first came into the rap industry, there were 3 labels that turned him down that he had a personal vendetta against. Murder Inc., The Gyro, Columbia, and Bad Boy Records.
I heard Ja Rule just got beat up the other day. Is that true? Did y'all hear that?
50 Cent used to work for P. Diddy. He used to write songs for him.
No, he didn't. I'm telling y'all this. Those are the 3 record labels that turned him down. When
You know this song, Make This Money, Take This Money? He wrote that for P. Diddy.
I got all that, Dion. I'm telling you what the man told on the documentary. There was 3 record labels that turned him down. And those 3 he had a personal vendetta against. And the third one was Bad Boy with Diddy. And he also had some weird interactions with Diddy. Diddy wanted to take him out and like give him clothes and all. It was weirded out by the whole experience. Then took his baby mama.
Yeah, what Pat just said, the closest hospital would have been Cedars-Sinai. And if I'm not mistaken, Pat, and Pat, you correct me in the chat, Cedars-Sinai is way over there by the what's that mall over there? Oh God, that Brandy. I used to run into all these celebrities and Ray J and all of them all the time. What's that mall over there off of San Vicente? Because it's over there near San Vicente, over there. The Beverly Center. Is it called the Beverly Center? Y'all know I'm getting old. I be forgetting stuff. But I think it's called the Beverly Center. Uh-oh. You playing music, Dion? You supposed to be concentrating, sir. Now you know you got
Let me say this before I go. Can I say one more thing before I go?
Yes.
I like to say, yeah, you're right. I wish Tupac and Biggie was still here, but then you got to think about Kim Porter and another reason why 50 Cent got a vendetta. Like I said, he did write some songs for Diddy, but they always had an off and on relationship. But I would like to say there was a guy named Chris Lighty. He helped produce people like Beyonce and others.
That's murder.
And Chris Lighty was also Diddy's manager at one point, but he was also 50 Cent and Busta Rhymes' manager. And it was said that Kim Porter was dating Chris Lighty after Diddy broke up with her. And since he was already friends with him, I guess he had a vendetta against him, and the rest is history.
You absolutely right, Dion. As a matter of fact, Chris
R.P. Chris Lighty. R.P. Shakur Stewart.
Yeah, Chris Lighty was found dead in his apartment.
And guess what? Shakur Stewart and Chris Lighty, both of their tragedies was deemed as a suicide.
Yeah,
and check it out. Both of them dated Kim Porter after Diddy. And don't it sound suspicious?
Of course it does. I mean, the whole documentary was suspicious.
Sounds very suspicious. Yeah, and all of them cats was friends.
Yeah, well, I'm not a California native. No, I'm not. Now, let me ask you a question. No, it's, if I'm not mistaken, Pat, it's called the Beverly Center. But let me say this. I used to give Diddy the benefit of the doubt about Kim Porter because a lot of people used to say, well, there was some suspicion around her death as well. After I watched this documentary and realized all of the things and all of these pieces, that Suge-Knight situation and how all of these things transpire, I was like, they need to reopen every single one of these cases and really investigate, because I'm here to tell you, there's something in the milk ain't clean.
Mm-hmm. Come on in. The water is fine.
Yeah, that's
Hey,
the best
I
way.
like to say this. P. Diddy, he best to try to get a pardon from Trump because they prolonged the Keefe D trial about the Tupac. So and that's supposed to happen in the summer. So if he get out before the summer, he best to go overseas.
But here's
'Cause
but
if he-
here's the best part though, Dion. Let's tell the truth about that. KVD had already told them people when he turned state's evidence and did that audio tape. They have him on audio tape admitting to killing that man and who actually killed him, actually pulled the trigger. They had this information. They already had this information. Now, what amazes me is, and in the documentary, and y'all correct me if I'm wrong, the people in the documentary say, "Oh, well, we were waiting on Vegas." What you waiting on Vegas for?
Yeah, they ain't gonna do nothing.
They had the information, and we've always known here in California. I can't speak for everybody else. We know that there are cops involved. There are off-duty police officers that involved, and let me just tell you one thing. When you get off-duty police officers in California involved in anything, they are going to pull rank and they're going to close in, and you're not going to get no help whatsoever.
Yeah.
You're not going to get no help whatsoever.
They
And
don't
there's police officers involved with this situation.
Well, that's been known for decades, especially the LAPD with Biggie's death.
Yeah. That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, but Dion, it's good to see you. You're looking healthy.
Good to see you, brother.
How you doing?
I'm doing good, brother.
Good.
Happy holidays.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to work on getting rid of this 3 pounds that I gained.
What you think about Myron Williams?
He's not Kojic. That's the first thing that I think. And I think that him switching over and now no longer becoming a part of Marvin Sapp's church proves that. And so now he's trying to put himself back into alignment with his Kojic, I guess we can say roots, maybe. And so he can, say whatever he says. But
When you say he's not Kojic, what you mean?
They have no record of him being Kojic.
I thought he was over the music department or the whole.
Just because you over the music department don't mean they have a record of you being actually Kojic from your childhood, your youth, or you know what I'm saying? Church people keep records. So
can I tell you what I think? I
Yes,
think that the higher ups in Church of God in Christ offered him a bigger opportunity and told him they just want him to work with Kojic churches instead of outsiders like Marvin Sapp Church and stuff.
Well, it's going to be hard for him to work with just COVID churches when a lot of COVID people don't like him. A lot of Kojic people do not care for Myron. So it's going to be he's going to have a tough road to carry when it comes to that. I'm just saying, he's going to have a tough road.
You're right.
Yeah. And Keefe D told the truth. I believe what Keefe D said. I believe he told the truth. And even in that audio, he said when he told that police, the State Department, he said, "You guys are the first people that I have ever told this story to." He said, "I've never uttered those words out of my mouth." And when he told them people that whole situation, that whole story, I said, "Oh my God. Oh my God."
In Diddy's defense, I would say, like, watching all those movies and documentaries about, I could tell that he was very stressed out and scared and all of that. But it was said, I remember watching Murder Rap. They said the reason why he actually put a hit on them was because they Tupac and Suge was looking for his mama's house in LA, and that was the last straw. So he got tired of running and all that. But when he got the word that they was actually looking for his mama house, that's when he met with Keefe D for the last time, I guess.
Go ahead,
saw
Daryl.
the documentary.
You were going to say something. Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to just talk about how he incriminated himself on the new videos. Where they showed him calling Kalina and asking her to not talk to the police. You just incriminated yourself.
And how dirty was that when that girl had called you because she was going through a custody battle and asked you for help and you wouldn't give her a dime. And then when you needed her help, she had to call you back. And she let you know it was messed up because her experience with you was not the same as that other girl's experience. So she felt like she was turning her back on the other girl by testifying for Diddy because she didn't have the same experience as Diddy, right? And so I understood the agony of her situation and her position as well. But I want to tell you guys, if you guys have not seen this documentary, please go and watch it.
It's good.
You know, I have to give 50 Cent that. He has learned the art of TV and messaging. Oh, yes, he
Art of
has.
War.
And it just came out that Misa, the Justin's mother, she's working with them on her own documentary.
Wow. Yeah,
It
But
just
you
because
know
came
that
out.
she's viral right now because they saying she's frustrated that people is, antagonizing her and her son about not really being P Diddy's son. And we see how, from the documentary, we see how, Puff Daddy liked to, run trains on women and stuff. And Justin does not look like him. It
He
looks more
doesn't.
like the bodyguard.
I'm
That he
going
also
go ahead.
set the bodyguard to be his own best friend bodyguard to be deleted.
I'm
Another
going
thing that in the
go ahead.
documentary also talked about the 1991 City College thing, and I remember seeing his former bodyguard say that he asked Puff Daddy back then for more security, but he declined, and that's one reason why those people died in 1991. And then you fast forward to the Biggie situation when they was in L.A. The same bodyguard asked him for more security for Biggie, and you see, but we already know he had a motive, for Biggie
Well, Biggie
because he
wasn't even supposed to be in LA when he got
mhm,
shot.
supposed to be in
And
London.
right. And that's
Hmm.
another thing that when you guys hear this whole thing, Sean Combs made him come to that party that he didn't even want to go to.
Didn't want to.
He didn't even want to go to that. And Sean made it, demanded that he be there. And then when you see how all of this played out, you're like, come on, bro. I don't care what nobody said. I listen, I can't say of a certainty that he did these things, but I will say 50 Cent did a masterful job of raising a humongous question mark.
Hmm.
And I will say to this day, just based on this documentary, something in the milk ain't clean. But I wanted to say this about Cassie. I take back every single thing that I've ever said. If I said anything negative about that young lady, I take it back. And let me tell you why. We can say all we want to that she had she could have made a decision to leave and all of this kind of stuff. If you see these photos in this documentary, he was beating the heck out of this girl. This girl had, gashes in her head, and oh my God, he was physically abusing this girl. So when you think, now let me just say this, because most of y'all don't know this is a part of my testimony. I was very abused as a child. When I say abused, I mean very much so abused. When I was in the 3rd grade, I couldn't even go to school for an entire month because all of the skin on my back and behind had been removed. Understand something. And let me tell you why it had been removed. Because I had brought all F's home when I was in the 3rd grade because I was distracted. Not because I wasn't smart, was because so much stuff was going on in my home that I couldn't really concentrate. And so when a lot of children are acting out, sometimes you don't need to think that the child is behaving in a manner because they're just acting out. No, a lot of kids are stressed out because of the things you doing in your house, right? And so I ended up getting all F's. The only time that ever happened to me in my entire schooling career. And I got all F's, and I was beaten to the point to where I had no skin on my back and on my bottom. So you need to understand something. When I say abuse, I know what it is to be abused. When I tell y'all I've only had a few butt whoopings in my whole life, I can count on one hand all the whoopings that I've had because all my whoopings were almost killings. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I can count all of mine. And I didn't like the feeling of being beaten. So I just obeyed. When my parents told me to do something, I just did what they asked me to do. And when I tell you I can count on my whoopings, but I said all of that to say this, as somebody who has been beaten, the trauma of being beaten, you have no idea what it does to you psychologically. The person could be across, and some of you women who've been battered by your spouses, y'all can testify to this. Sometimes the sound of the person's voice will bring fear in you. It will initiate fear on you. They could just be saying good morning to you, but because they've treated you so poorly, everything in you is nervous. You're always in a constant state of nervousness. My mother, let me just say this. I'll just put it to you this way. There were times in my life where I was a wreck. When I say I was a wreck, I could not think. I would have to actually leave my home and travel. And that's why I was so grateful when I became a teenager and I could go out and do what I wanted to do. it was a way of escape for me because I wasn't surrounded by a whole lot of people, being rude and disrespectful and hollering and calling you all out your name and all that crazy foolishness. Because I've never been that kind of person, right? And another thing, I was the first person in my entire family to accept Jesus Christ as Savior. So my whole life is different than everybody else's. You feel me? So I understand the traumatic experience that Cassie was not going to go anywhere. It's almost like that old saying of if you put a rope around an elephant's foot for when they're small,
they're gonna stay in that captivity for the rest of their life.
They'll stay in the captivity because they still think they have the rope. Some people have a mentality where you still are in the mentality. You have an abused mentality. You still think from an abused place. And so when it comes to Cassie, I was like, you know what, Marcellus, when they showed them pictures of that girl black and blue and bloody and all of this stuff, and I was like, well, daggone it, this is what they should have been showing in the media. But here's a problem. They didn't sequester the jury.
That was the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. They sequestered the jury for O.J. Simpson. You're not going to sequester them for Diddy in New York City.
Your people was going home watching Armand Wiggins.
Jesus. And that also, and I remember doing the case. That was one of the only times I debated. I'm like, no, stop debating Cassie. What Cassie did, she went directly to the police. She went directly to the state and said, "This man, I was abused by this man for 10 years." The other thing that the documentaries did such mastery on is getting those jurors from the case in there, and you heard their firsthand account.
That one girl should have never been on the jury. She was in love with
never should have never set foot in that jury. I don't even understand how they selected her. The other guy, the Hindu guy, who didn't know anything about Diddy, but was listening to what was the girl, Capricorn Clark,
right?
And listening to her testimony or her your witness, and he was like, I understood where she was coming from, but her story was all over the place. That told me she had no training from the attorneys. Because the attorneys should have sat her down and listened to her entire story so they can create a DNA evidence of who, what, when she got on the bench, she can explain herself, because her story was real and it got emotional because when you've been in an abusive background, this girl said that she was kidnapped.
Okay. Let me say this. Sometimes, y'all gonna hate this analogy, but I got to give it to you. Sometimes you could be out here yelling and screaming about a person. Daryl Moore and I was out here trying to tell the whole world who certain individual was. And to the whole internet, we looked crazy and sounded crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you can be in the thick of a certain circumstance and situation to the point to where it makes you look delusional. And you're not even, that girl got on that stand, even though she was telling a true story, but because it was so tied to all of the emotion involved.
Correct.
People thought she was cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I've been there, so I can identify with the fact of what she was saying.
And the girl was smart. She said she was the vice president of brand.
She ran his whole dang on business.
the whole thing. So she's not a crazy person.
Right.
But when you've been in an emotional state for 15 years with this man who has kidnapped you, moved you from.
Are you talking about the Capricorn?
Yeah. Let me finish, Dion. But when you've been moving from state to state without, it sounded like it was like she was his own personal dial that he could move whatever he wanted to move. That's an emotional situation.
Yeah.
And then you're seeing your best friend get beat up every night.
Now I have a question. There was something that I was about to ask you guys regarding, because you were saying her, but I'll come back to it. Go ahead, Dion, because I know you had something to say.
I was going to say, remember his childhood friend was saying that he used to get terrible beatings when he was a kid.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
by his mom.
Mm-hmm.
And then after the city college thing, his mom asked about it, and he slapped her and called her, a female dog.
Yeah. Well, I believe and then he put a lot of his stuff in his mother's name.
Yeah.
Which I found to be quite interesting as well.
Well, they said that's to protect him if the families of those victims from the City College incident were to sue
Yeah,
him,
so they can't
Right.
sue him.
they couldn't go after his money. That's why he did that.
Well, that just goes to show you what kind of person he was way back then, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at the video of when you see the documentary, you all, when all those people, P. Diddy's career started off with people dying. So if you look at the progression, Lord help me, I'm trying to help somebody.
There's a spiritual context to this too, but go right ahead.
Right. His career started off with people dying. How many people was it? Was it 4 or 6 total?
It was 9.
9. It was
9 people.
9 people died because they could not get in, and they were bum rushed, and were trampled to death
Because he refused extra security.
right. And because first of all, he was trying to save money. P. Diddy's whole thing has been about me, keep all the money, keep all the money.
Stingy. Yep.
Right. And then if you look at the video of him in that crowd of people who were trying to be helped by those folks, the paramedics and stuff, he was there with his shirt open, looking like he thought he was the man. Y'all, go back and watch?
I saw that.
I said, why is he dressed like that? I'm like, you coming in here for a rap event, and you already coming out here, you don't have on no clothes, you got your shirt all open. Like, dude, you already out of pocket and out of box. And 9 people you all lost their life at the beginning of his career.
Mm-hmm.
Astounding. I thought that was amazing.
They say that's how nationwide when that incident happened.
You cut out. What did you say?
They say that's where he said that's where he got famous because of that death situation.
But that is
at college.
That's when he did get famous.
He
took
said it
off
himself.
Mm-hmm. He did. But when the genesis of your situation starts off wrong, it's going to end up you crashing and burning. And I have to say that even when it comes to vlogging, if the genesis of how you start a thing is started improperly, sooner or later you're going to crash and you're going to burn. And there are a lot of people that are just going to crash and burn because they have their motives are bad, their intent are bad, and how they do what they do is just wrong, or every way you look at it. And so that's how I look at it. Somebody said people dying and him screaming and scamming and grifting. Absolutely. And then I think somebody said that Armand was in the documentary, but Daryl, I didn't see it. I didn't see Armand in that documentary. Maybe I missed
He was in there for a hot second.
Oh, okay, because I missed. Oh, that was the other thing. So P. Diddy's lawyers started contacting the vloggers. You all pay attention to this part. They started contacting the vloggers so that the vloggers would report on the stories a different way and started feeding them information so that they could spin the narrative. So a lot of these vloggers that you heard out here doing all of this rah-rah and for P. Diddy is because they were talking to his attorneys and lawyers and they were getting the information from them. But there was one girl in the documentary. She was like, Lord, I love good, integral people. I swear.
Mm-hmm.
She said, I'm not saying this just because you guys are bringing it to me and you want me to tell the story that way. She says, no, I'm going to tell the story the best way that I think the commentary should be told. So I had so much respect for that young lady.
And once again, this is where the District Court of New York failed, because the district attorney should have shut that down. There should have been no bloggers. If you're not working for a newspaper or local news story or news television network, you are not going to be at that court.
Right.
I would have shut that down immediately.
Yeah, I agree. Well, I think Satum just lied to these people. Satum lied to them. He did.
Y'all have a blessed one though.
All right,
Dion.
all right. Yeah, I think Satum lied to them, and the best thing for them to do is to literally rethink a lot of stuff. And I think the reason why they gave him those 50 months, not 50 years, y'all. He doesn't have 50 years in prison.
Mm-hmm.
He has 50 months. Okay. And actually the time served for the 2 years that he's been in prison. So he's actually going to get credit for the 2 years that he's been there. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Which is actually half the sentence. So he would really only have 2 more years to go. Basically,
He could
based on the numbers.
He could potentially be out next year on good behavior too.
Pretty much. And so, but I think the reason why they have him sitting in there, if you know the feds are trying to build a case right now with some of that stuff. if they're wise. You know what I mean? And the Kid Cudi situation, Cassie messed up with that, you know, because she was young and she didn't know how to move like that. You know, you gotta be a skilled hoe to know how to navigate. I'm for real. You got to be skilled to know how to have your main person and then have a person on the side. And she was young. She didn't know how to do all that stuff.
And keep in mind, Kid Cudi had to check himself into a mental institution after that. He had thoughts of suicide.
Yeah, because somebody's coming into your house and literally went in your house
and blew up your car
and torched your car. Yeah, I'm just saying. P. Diddy was out of control, but I don't know why nobody stopped him. Oh, and 50 Cent is he's petty. Because while P. Diddy is on there talking, he gonna have Bishop T.D. Jakes on the screen.
Oh, yeah, that was petty. Oh, that was petty. I was like, oh, you low down dirty dog.
I say he
is. Low down,
he's super
dirty
petty. Yeah.
I will say this about 50. This was a masterful documentary, but you can't be a hypocrite, bro. Yeah. You can't put this documentary out and your boy is Dr. Dre. You can't do that. You can't do that. We all know about Dr. Dre.
Oh, yeah, we know.
We know about Mr. LA. We know about what happened with Diddy was and MTV. We know about the guns. We know about how he treated his children right now. One of his daughters is in the street right now looking for homes. And you a multi-billionaire living in Calabasas. But so I'm just saying, like, this was good.
He not gonna make a documentary on his face.
He ain't gonna talk about Dr. Dre. Let's be clear.
Right. It's like vloggers. They're not gonna talk about their favorite person. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna be like, "Nah, I can't talk about them. We can't say nothing about them. We gotta keep that quiet." That's how people move. They're just doing it on a larger scale, on a larger, you know what I mean? If you think 50 Cent gonna come out there and do a documentary on Dr. Dre when him and Eminem and all of them is close, it's not happening.
Oh yeah, that's not happening. I'm just showcasing hypocrisy.
And then the other part that got me with Diddy was when he was in there working with Justin Bieber.
Oh, and that song is a banger too. That song is a banger, and I can't listen to it. I can't. After I found out what went down, I'm like, I can't listen to this.
These poor people. I just felt so bad. I was like, they were just surrounded by enemies. Like there was so much stuff going on. They were surrounded, and then by the time you get to Little Rod at the end of this documentary,
oh my God,
you're just like, poor Little Rod. Because you think to yourself, you're like, okay, we've been saying that Little Rod is lying. He don't have no case. And then when I started hearing all the stuff that Diddy has done, you'll be like, I think Little Rod just got a bad rap and a wrong lawyer.
And then he got the video of him producing the album, and he got no production credit. He should have got a Grammy nomination off of that album. Because the album is a good album, yo.
Well, they were supposed to do something for him. And pay him some more money, but they didn't do it or whatever. But I just want to say this: Little Rod needs another lawyer.
Yes,
he may have a case. You all, I'm going to be honest with you.
He does have a case. He has a case.
He just presented. He had the wrong attorney. Dwayne Youngblood was. I'm sorry, not Dwayne Youngblood. Tyrone Blackburn was his lawyer. Now I'm going to tell you, Daryl, when you know what I'm saying. When Armand Wiggins confronted Tyrone Blackburn at the court, Little Rod was standing next to him. That was Little Rod standing next to him. So I was like, when it clicked in my mind, I said, oh my God. So I started calling my homies. I was like, wait a minute, bro. I said, this Little Rod dude, I said, he might just have a case, but he had the wrong attorney.
The wrong attorney.
Yeah. No.
The wrong. I felt so sad for that brother.
Yeah.
Because when you're a musician and you put your heart into something, like that's like doing a 2-year project for a Fortune 500 company, and you got nothing to show for it.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think he chose Tyrone Blackburn because he ain't had no money.
Yeah.
Tyrone was willing to take his case, so most people will, go with the lawyer. But let me just tell you all, if you get a lawyer to take your case pro bono, make sure that you sit down with that lawyer and actually strategize with that lawyer what your actual strategy is going to be and become a part of that process.
Correct.
Do not just take whatever your lawyer says as the gospel truth. You need to work with your attorneys. They work for you. Don't just do what they tell you to do. You need to be a part of that whole process. And I think if Little Rod would have sat down with Tyrone Blackburn and really listened to Tyrone Blackburn, he'd have rather hired Elmer Fudd. He'd have probably been like, I think I saw a pretty rabbit. Yeah, I'm sure he'd have went somewhere else.
But the documentary didn't scratch half the surface. Like they didn't go into detail about making a band. Because there's already stories about what those kids had to go through.
Yeah, what happened to Dylon?
Oh, Dylon been telling people about Diddy.
Right. And then what was the name of that other group? Because they did an interview with Vlad and they all fell into tears. They had to stop.
Day 26.
Day 26. I felt so sorry for that
Q was Q was on there on the Diddy doc for a hot second. I think they had to edit him out because his mental state is gone.
Yeah, he's emotionally the way that they did him. He's done, you all. He's so done. I felt my heart just
it dropped for him.
Yeah.
It dropped for him.
But how do you become a billionaire but none of your artists have any money?
Yeah.
None of your artists can actually say, "Oh, I put out a couple of albums and I'm doing well." And it was because P. Diddy took care of me and made sure that I was okay. None of them artists on Bad Boy Records. And the only reason why Mary J. Blige, in my opinion, is doing well is because he knew he couldn't F over Mary. Because when Mary first came into the game, she had KC. She had the people from Jodeci, because remember Jodeci was on there and they were dating at the time back in the day, right?
That was a volatile relationship right there.
And he couldn't screw Mary over because a lot of people wrote for the What's the 411 album. Her first album, there was a whole bunch of other people writing for that album. So he couldn't screw her over. So he had to pay those people, right?
Correct.
And so I kind of feel like that's the other thing about all of that. So it's crazy. That whole documentary is a mess.
And if you follow Diddy's history, this shouldn't be a surprise per se, but just the level of what he has done, that shocked me. I'm just like, this dude has literally profited off of misery and death. Like just the way that he marketed himself after Biggie died. When you evaluate that is some sinister stuff.
Oh, well, this is the other thing you guys need to take into consideration. He made Biggie pay for his own funeral.
That shocked me.
I said, this mother. That's literally what I said. I said, you can't go no lower than that.
That shook me to the core, yo. And that told me, because for years, his mama had nothing to do with him. To the day she died, she had nothing to do with him. That's the reason. That is gross. That's just beyond sinister. And I really want to hear what Faith Evans got to say right now.
Yeah. Somebody sending me an alert. I guess Donald Trump has National Park Service cuts free entry on MLK Day, Juneteenth, and adds Donald Trump's birthday. So you used to be able to go to national parks on these holidays for free or at a discounted rate, but now they are taking off Martin Luther King's birthday as well as Juneteenth from the national holiday list, and you will not get a discount for going to the national parks, nor will you be able to be celebrated. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Now, here's his thing. He's thinking that black people are just going to get enraged and we're going to get out into the street. No, we're not doing that. I know what this dude is trying to do. Y'all didn't give us Martin Luther King holiday for how many years? We didn't have no holiday. So we see it. We know how y'all move. And I know I can't speak for everybody else, but I'm not moved by it. Shout out to Elle for your support. Shout out to Karen for your support, to the Mad Church Disease channel. I really appreciate it. So ain't nobody thinking about Donald Trump, man. For real.
We see it in Parliament. It is just, Wait, back to our regularly scheduled program.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna let you give me your final thoughts because we done passed the 2-hour mark.
Oh
And we're
yeah.
gonna get out of here.
Yeah, man. It really, that documentary showcased to me in more ways than one that the music industry is demonic, it's sinister, and there needs to be regulation on how these monsters can control this industry. They have taken lives. There are people that are living in the street
Yeah. The people
because of
with the
their
talent.
interaction.
The
Yeah,
people
with the
with the
talent.
talent are actually out on the street, but the people who had no talent got all the money. How does
Yeah.
that work? But see, I have friends who are in the industry, and when I sit down with my friends and they explain to me how it works, I said, "This is evil.
Yeah.
This is flat out evil." The whole, as far as I'm concerned, the entertainment industry, not just music,
Mhm.
movies,
Yeah.
all of it, it is all wicked.
Mhm.
It is wicked because it allows you to live in a reality that really does not exist. And that's why the celebrities that you see that really stay grounded, those celebrities are grounded by their family, by their friends. They keep they keep some sort of normalcy in their life.
Correct.
But all of these people that you see cracking up and wicked whacking, and I'm gonna tell you, Daryl, one part that got me too. I don't remember the girl's name, but I guess she was in Danity Kane, that group with the white girl.
Aubrey O'Day.
Not,
Aubrey
not
O'Day.
not Aubrey, the other black chick that was in there.
Dawn.
Dawn, maybe it was her.
Mhm.
When she said on the Making the Band that they announced that she was the winner, and in the same night they put a stack of contracts in front of her and
Mhm.
said she had 24 hours to sign. And she said her lawyer, when she went to the lawyer laughed at her and
Mhm.
said, "Oh, well, this is just to make you famous, but you're not going to get any money from it."
I would have walked away. I would have walked away. There was another case just like that with Diddy, making the band with the band.
Right.
So when the band was producing their very first album, Diddy brought in his attorneys and said, "These are your attorneys now. You guys need to sign these contracts so you can get your first what is it? Um, your first money, but it's actually your, what's the word for it? It's a 360 deal. So
Right.
essentially, you're getting money, but you're paying it in the back end." And one of the girls who's from Detroit, Sarah Stokes, Sarah's like, "Well, I actually have an attorney.
Mm.
Can I contact him and have him take a look at it and get back to you in 24 hours?" They looked at her as like, "Okay, guys, well, we can't move unless she signs. So
Wow.
until she signs, we ain't moving." So he said literally had the group turn their back on her because she had an attorney
Right.
and wanted the attorney to take a look at it, basically forcing their hand, saying, "Well, we can't move, so we
Yeah,
about
you
to
can't
close
go
this deal.
forward.
We
Yeah,
can't go
absolutely.
forward."
But see, this is the thing. And I just want to say this because now that we're talking like this is what I say about these vloggers and doing business. I don't know about the rest of you, but I own a business, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you come to me as a vlogger and suggest certain things to me, you have to come to me as a business owner and a businessman. If you are vlogging on the internet, you are really doing business. Google is doing business and you're doing business. So
Mm-hmm.
you need to understand that you doing business, there are certain rights and privileges with coming and doing business. Now you have to determine what types of a business owner you're going to be. You're either going to be a fool
Mm-hmm.
or you're going to go after the bag. Now going after the bag means you have to be intelligent across the board.
Mm-hmm.
Cash apps is not it. It has to be the whole encompass the whole part of things, you all. And I'm gonna leave my comments there. Daryl, I appreciate you coming up. Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate you as always. To all of
Mm-hmm.
you that are supporting the live, don't go nowhere. Stay where you are because I'm gonna close out with both of us. I want everybody to make sure you hit the like button. I appreciate every single one of y'all for watching this live. Y'all make sure that y'all support your favorite content creators, not just in your views and your clicks, but make sure you send them a little something every now and then. And I appreciate every single one of you. Now, Angie Stone, listen,
Mm.
I love me some Angie Stone. And it's sad, that these people have to die in those ways, and all of that stuff is suspicious. You understand? And
Yes.
I'm not a conspiracy theory type person, but all of that stuff is suspicious to me.
And pray for her son. Her son lost his mom and
And the
dad
dad. Mhm.
within a 6-month period. That's
Yeah.
a lot.
That is a lot. That's a
That's a
whole lot.
lot.
Yeah. And so like you said, we'll definitely be praying to all of the moderators. I want to thank all of the moderators. Thank y'all so much for helping me tonight, because I am tired. If you said something in the chat and I did not respond, charge it to my head, not my heart. I try to stay away from the chat and I let the moderators do their thing. And there was somebody who asked me earlier about unblocking them. The only way you get blocked over here is if you say something off the wall to one of my guests or myself, and that's why they block you. I will run it by, because I did write down your handle. I'll run it by the moderators and see what the situation, if any of them, remember or don't remember, and I'll try to unblock you, whoever you was, and I'll talk to the moderators and see what they say about that. All right, you all, I'm out of here. God bless you, Daryl. Don't go anywhere, and I'll see y'all on the next video. Thanks everyone for watching. Your support means the world to us. Please make sure that you hit the like button, and please make sure that you subscribe to the channel, and make sure you hit the bell icon, and make sure you press all notifications, so that way you will never miss any of the exclusive content that comes on my channel. Make sure that you never miss a video. Now, I try to go live every day about 2:30 Pacific Standard Time, which is about 5:30 Eastern Standard Time. And then I come back at night at around 8:30 Pacific Standard Time, which is about 10:30 Eastern Standard, with some more exclusive content. So if you want more Mad Church Disease show content, we'd love for you to become a member, a revolutionary member of our channel. Please make sure that you hit the join button that's right next to the subscribe button, or somewhere around here, so that you guys can receive access to special community posts. You guys get all of the access to my community only lives, because we've got some sipping chats that we're going to be doing, and you guys will get exclusive content. So just make sure that you head on over to the channel page, click on the join button, and make sure that you do that. Thanks again for watching. I appreciate your love and support, and I'll see you on my very next video.
We are Mad Church Disease, helping you understand that Jesus plus nothing is everything. This is a show for everyone, believers and non-believers, from churched to the unchurched. Help us grow the channel by supporting our non-profit causes and create more consistent content. Donate by Cash App or PayPal, or buy us a coffee at buymeacoffee.com.